In the day's other news, former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton says Mr. Trump made her skin crawl during a debate last year. She writes about the incident during their second general election face-off. That's in her new book, What Happened. In audio excerpts, which she recorded, Clinton speaks of how candidate Trump followed her around the stage and says it was incredibly uncomfortable.
Do you stay calm, keep smiling, and carry on as if he weren't repeatedly invading your space? Or do you turn, look him in the eye, and say loudly and clearly, "Back up, you creep. Get away from me. I know you love to intimidate women, but you can't intimidate me, so back up."
The debate took place in St. Louis last October, right after an audio tape had surfaced of Mr. Trump bragging about groping women. The U.S. Navy has relieved the commander of the 7th Fleet after 4 ship collisions in Asian waters this year. A statement today announced Vice Admiral Joseph Aucoin was removed due to, quote, loss of confidence in his ability to command. He had been scheduled to retire soon. It follows the latest collision between the destroyer John S. McCain and an oil tanker off Singapore. Several American sailors were killed. Several others are still missing. In Yemen, officials say an airstrike by a Saudi Arabia-run coalition force killed as many as 60 people today, including rebels and civilians. It happened just north of the capital, Sana'a. The city is controlled by the Shiite rebels who are backed by Iran. Emergency workers spent the day recovering bodies from the rubble. The Saudis said they're reviewing the incident. The U.S. State Department is defending a decision to cut or delay almost $300 billion in U.S. aid to Egypt over its human rights violations. Cairo today criticized the move as a, quote, misjudgment by the U.S., but activists say dissent is being stifled by the regime. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert says the administration believes that withholding aid will lead to change.
Egypt has been put essentially on notice with this. Now, as I talk about that money that's been put off to the side, I want to mention that they still did get $1 billion in fiscal year 2017. So they still got some of their money, but we're withholding part of that money until they can start to come around and adhere to democratic reforms.
President Trump's advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, was in Cairo today and met with Egypt's president and foreign minister. Pakistan pushed back harder today against pressure from President Trump. He stepped up criticism this week that Pakistan harbors Taliban militants who stage attacks in Afghanistan. Today, the Pakistani foreign minister said in an interview about the Trump administration, quote, they should not make Pakistan a scapegoat for their failures in Afghanistan. Back in this country, federal prosecutors in Las Vegas are trying to regroup after a jury refused on Tuesday to convict 4 men in a ranch standoff. They were accused of threatening and assaulting federal agents in 2014. 2 were acquitted on all charges, 2 others on most charges. The case grew out of a standoff between rancher Cliven Bundy and federal officers over his refusal to pay grazing fees on public lands. An earlier trial ended in a hung jury. Statues of 2 Confederate generals were shrouded in black today in Charlottesville, Virginia. The city council ordered the monuments to Robert E. Lee and Thomas Stonewall Jackson covered. It's to represent mourning for Heather Heyer. She's the young woman who was protesting against white supremacists this month when a car ran her down and killed her. And on Wall Street, stocks pulled back after yesterday's big gains. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 87 points to close at 21,812. The Nasdaq fell 19, and the S&P 500 slipped 8.